Viewers and subscribers, welcome to the Coach's Desk with your host, Kevin Menze. And we have in Gary Reid. I will be talking some basketball. But before we jump into the interview, I'm just encouraging persons to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Gary Reid, how are you?
I'm good, man. How's everything?
Things are good so far. I know we have to be staying strong in this COVID pandemic. How are you on that side?
I'm just following the rules in the sense to stay inside. I see even our local artists do a song trying to encourage the persons to stay inside. So that's what I'm really doing. Inside.
All right, cool. Fair enough. All right, I want you to tell our viewers, who is Gary Reid?
Who's Gary Reid? Gary Reid is a approachable, warm individual personality. I'm also a former national basketball player. I'm also a basketball coach. I'm also the mini basketball commissioner of Jamaica. So, and I also teach. So Gary have a lot of different personalities, a lot of different, what I would have mentioned to the viewers now, I have a whole lot of different.
Man that wears a lot of hats.
Yes, I would say that.
All right.
But very, yeah.
All right, cool. Now, how did you get involved in sports? Basketball.
Basketball directly. All right. The funny thing about it, I didn't play basketball in high school. What I did in high school, I normally play table tennis. Fool around it, not even playing it seriously. Something at the lunchtime, but it was always beside the basketball court. And I normally look over and I was saying, one day I'm going to play this sport, But funny enough, I went through high school, which is Calabar High School, and didn't approach the coach, which is Coach Ludlow Barker, to even be on the team. But after leaving school, in my community, I saw some guys playing, and I said, I always procrastinate and always put off things. So let me just start playing the sport. I think the first day I went on the court and did a layup, and like someone said, yo, come on my team, man, you look like you can play this sport. And I said, no, the first time I played them, I said, I lie. I said, no, I just normally watch first to do it, and I know someone mimic the action, I'm going to get a chance to play. And then that's where it all started from, because it was really just some friends in the community. I approached the court, and they basically said something to me that really sparked a fire in the sense. I was like, you really think I can play this sport? And then from that day on, I found that love for the sport and continued to play and try to develop my skill. Within a year, I played the sDesk league, which is a community basketball league that they normally have in Harborview, East Side, Jamaica. And from that competition, I think I lead in scoring and rebounding. Within a year playing the sport, I got invited like right after that league to be a part of the national team, which was the under 19 team. We trained and I went to Bahamas. And I'm saying all of this took place within 2 years of playing the sport. So there and then I realized that this sport was my sport to keep.
Definitely. Your situation is very unique, Gary, because it just happened so quickly, and you said you weren't involved in basketball at the high school level. But what position did you play?
I play center and power forward, but I mostly stick with center. That for persons who might not familiar with the sports, they normally think about the biggest player on the court normally play within the key area, which is closer to the basket. So That's my position, center.
So fast forward to the national team. You made it to the under 19 team. How about the senior team? Did you get any look in there?
Yes, I also played senior team, surprisingly, up till 2016. We had a tournament, so I just finished the last tournament that Jamaica played. I was the captain for that senior team, and so I played all the way through. The different thing about it, in Jamaica, our national programs don't run directly through. Will take a long pause. Never use the word pause. They will pause for a long period of time. So you'll find out that you will play under 19, but still there won't be any competition coming up for you to participate within the next 2-3 years. So for that 2-3 years, the program will rest. And like 2 weeks before, you will play. So that's why you normally find players try their best to keep in basketball shape, like being a part of the community leagues, and we have a national basketball league that we'll be a part of. So up to 2016, I was a part of the senior basketball team. Um, yeah, so from then till 2016, I've been a part of it. And when I use the word then, that will be from like 2001.
Okay, cool.
So I basically do a 15 years period in the national program.
That's a whole lot of years for someone who started late.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, Gary. Like I said, your situation is unique. But what are you doing now? Are you still playing basketball?
I play now and then for fun, but in regards to basketball, I'm more on the developing side in the sense that I also coach. I also try and have a YouTube channel that promote and sensitize person regarding the sport of basketball nationally. As I mentioned earlier, I'm the mini basketball commissioner. What's a mini basketball commissioner? I'm the commissioner for the under 12 program. I was appointed that position last year, 2019, where I went to Mexico, did some training and some workshop in regards to growing basketball, because that is one of our issue, Minzy, that I must point out. The thing about Reid, you talk about my experience, my journey, which I started about when I was 18, 19, first time playing the basketball. That's supposed to be a no-no if we're looking to get professional athletes.
Right.
Yeah. So you want the game to start from early. Football, you want the kids them to be kicking football at 4, 5, 6 years of age. Same thing with basketball. So I am the man who is responsible to get that program off the ground. So that's my main contribution currently now to the sport, is to get that program, that under 12 program off, so we can have more players playing the game at a younger age.
But you mentioned something critical about your training age started a little bit late than the norm. But what is happening on the basketball scene? Are you getting any results where the introduction of basketball at the early stage is concerned?
Are we getting any result? I will say no. I'm appointed the position last year, 2019, and the reason for that appointment is the fact that it was getting horrible, in the sense that there were no person playing the sport until they are age 13, 14, which is when they're introduced to high school. Primary school programs, we normally have a one-day tournament. One-day tournament, it don't make any sense. The kids have nothing to look forward to. You could be training a child from September to play a one day in June, July. That don't add up, all right? And so that is why. So in regards to, are we getting enough persons playing the sport early in basketball? No. We need to get them play earlier. So that's our main goal now. Basketball is being played at age 13, 14 officially in Jamaica. That's the introduction to high school. We have the under 14 basketball competition run by ISA.
All right. In terms of talent, how is the talent here in Jamaica where basketball is concerned? Because of course you know that we're a country of track and field, somewhat football, but where basketball stands where the talent is concerned.
All right. With basketball as a sport, you mentioned, we have raw talents. To compare to international standard in regards to overseas, to compare them, it's rough. It will be unfair also because of our infrastructure, our how we approach basketball as not a profession but just a sport. We have the natural talent. We have talent that can be developed. We have a lot of players who leave Jamaica through scholarship going overseas to reach higher grounds, greener grass, I might say. But one example is Kofi Cockburn. He's now entering the NBA draft. We have two other players in the NBA draft currently now. But what happened with those players? As soon as they leave high school, they get scholarship and they will leave and go overseas. The coaches overseas now with the infrastructure and the necessary funding bring them to that level where they can compete in the NBA. So do Jamaica have the talent? Yes. Are we getting enough funding to have these talents leave Jamaica and go right into our NBA draft? No. What we have to do is send them away where they can get those opportunities. So that is where that's really separate us from playing basketball on an international level. So we definitely do have the talent, we just don't have the funding.
But one of the prerequisites of being a basketballer, Gary, is height. And do we have persons with the requisite height in the sport?
Most definitely, as you mentioned, there are 3 players on Manchester High School. They are age 15. I can't remember the name, quite frankly. Where Damian Sullivan coach. That those players are one at 6 feet 8 inches, which is LeBron height at age 14. We have one at age 15 that is 6 feet 9 inches, and one at age 16 that is 6 feet 9 inches.
Okay.
So all 3 players are at LeBron James' height, a little bit taller, 1 inch taller, but it's still taller. You get what I'm saying? And we're talking about age 15, age 16. Kofi, who is overseas now, as I mentioned, who left St. Andrew Technical High School, he left at height, he's 6 feet 11 inches.
Whoa.
So we do have the height. As I said before, we are not pushing and promoting the sport because of funding back and forth. So you wouldn't see or hear about these players unless you're definitely a part of the basketball fraternity. Okay. But we do have the height.
All right. When we let us change lanes a little bit, because in every sport, coaching plays a very integral part in development. Are our coaches well trained in terms of basketball? Do they have the knowledge of the game and so forth?
All right. Minzy, I know you're a coach. I'm a coach, and it's like a code in the coaching fraternity not to bash anybody program back and forth.
That was a controversial question.
yeah. So, but the thing about it, I like to speak truth and put facts to it. Can our coach be more knowledgeable? Can they do a little more research? Can they invest a little more time? Yes. And I think that go across the board for any sports discipline. However, we are zeroing now on basketball coaches. And from what I observe, we have a lot of young coaches a part of the basketball fraternity who need to be developed a little bit more. We need a little more workshop. We need the coaches association, basketball coaches association, to step in, all these coaches at ransom to say that they need to be involved in more of these workshops to develop, not from a level 1 coach, but we are supposed to have level 3 coaches, even 10, 12, 15 across the country. I think majority of our basketball coaches are at level 1, level 2, unacceptable, because if you don't have good coaches, I believe strongly, if you don't have good knowledgeable coaches, you won't get good knowledgeable players.
Right.
Because is what you implement really, you bring out. You have persons who normally, you're not going to find like a Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant who just have some natural basketball IQ where even with a bad coach, you will still see it display their ability. Right. We can't all the players them to develop themselves. As coaches, we have to know that what we are doing is really impacting, is really making a difference to these players. So we really need to look into the coaches being better trained, and we need coaches basically to be take this as a priority to improve. So we have good coaches, but we could have much more.
Yes, and I agree with that, because where track and field is coming from, where football is coming from, the evidence is there that the coaches are more learned right now. So the results are showing.
Mm-hmm.
So the basketball coaches and other sporting events that are struggling in Jamaica, the association should definitely be able to put on coaching courses, coaching education courses, to ensure that these individuals who are disseminating information to the players are disseminating the correct information and at a high standard. Because if you want to meet international standard, we have to get the coaches up to that level. So I do agree with
Yes,
you on that point. So Gary, it was a pleasure to have you here. We are running out of time right now, but before we go, could you share your last thoughts where basketball is concerned in Jamaica?
All right. Whoa. There's so much things to do. I don't know if I can sum up everything and summarize, but I will do my best.
Yeah.
With basketball in Jamaica now, it's growing. It's growing slowly, but I normally tell persons one step is still a step forward. So once we are moving, it's always positive, but you could move a little bit faster. And I think that is how I was sum up basketball in Jamaica. We're making some step for getting our players to a higher standard. Coaches also, but we are moving slow. We are moving too slow, I would say. But these are things I think if the association who might view this interview, I will encourage them to try and put certain things in place in regards to funding. I just basically bash a couple coaches, and I must say now while closing, it's not all about the coaches can do so much and no more. The associations need to be involved much more when it comes on to basketball in Jamaica.
Right.
We need them to fund projects. Try to limit that idea versus to invest the sponsors to come on board with the sport. We have to understand that the sport is struggling and we need help. We need help internationally. We need past players to give back. We need to set up some funding online where persons overseas of that sport can invest in the sport. We need to have transparency so sponsors can look at the sport and see a sport that they need to invest in. We need to ensure that professionalism is carried out, even if the courts are empty, in the sense that the players alone are there. You never know who might be passing, who can sponsor this sport. Because as I said before, basketball is not a track and field and football, which basically is in the international arena as one of those sports that Jamaica is good at. So we have to ensure that for us to move from where we are now and step up, maybe pass a netball or reach a track and field standard, we have to start taking it serious from here. So I will just want to encourage the association, the coaches, the players to be more professional in whatever they are doing. And also, if there's any sponsors viewing this, to listen and try and see if they can come on board, because Jamaica really do have the talent, as I mentioned earlier. We lack funding and infrastructure to really push out an NBA athlete or even some athletes who can play overseas in the France competitions and also China, where we can get the necessary respect from overseas.
Well said, my friend. Well said. And I hope that you push yourself as a young man who is knowledgeable about the game, would push yourself in the administrative section of the sport, so that you can let your voice be heard right across Jamaica, so that this sport will soar and be lifted from where it is currently at. Thank you very much for sharing with us here on Coach's Desk. It was our pleasure having you, and definitely we'll speak again.
Yeah, man, never big up yourself, Minch. And I said totally to the viewers, coaches, Dex. I love the program. I just hope you continue. Don't stop because I'm telling you, some good ideas and things will come from this program. I really like this platform. So big up yourself. Peace out.
All right. Big up yourself to interview. Bless.
All right, cool.